Let's bring in Tomson Phiri. He is the spokesperson for the World Food Program, and he joins us now live from Geneva. It's a pleasure having you on the program, sir, today. Now, the global food crisis is taking a toll on various countries across the world, especially developing ones. And the crisis is being fueled by many things, including the war in Ukraine and the blockade on grain exports there. How has this factor alone affected people most in need?
Well, for lack of a better word, it's been devastating. The Ukraine conflict has caused upheaval in global food and energy markets and soaring food and fuel prices, which are putting millions at risk of hunger, with families now unable to afford a basic meal. I was speaking to some of the people we've been assisting in Central African Republic just yesterday, and all they said was, when will this nightmare end? There is a wave of collateral hunger that is stemming from this conflict. It is fast spreading across the globe. And to give your global audience a sense of the impact, in 81 countries where the World Food Program works, acute hunger is now expected to rise by 47 million people for as long as this conflict continues unabated. Now, that's a 17% increase, and that means on top of the 276 million people who were already facing acute hunger worldwide, well, that number will now jump to 323 million.
Devastating numbers there indeed. And the global economic crisis isn't helping as well. And it's resulted from the pandemic that we just emerged from. I'm aware that funds to organizations like the World Food Program has drastically decreased. Is that the situation at the moment as well?
Donors have been very supportive. They have dug deep into their pockets to give us resources. We fundraise on the go. We are 100% voluntarily funded. But you may have all the money in the world. The needs are far outpacing available resources. And as much as they're giving, we continue to have more and more people in need. And that's not a good thing when the World Food Program is breaking its records. In 2020, we fed 120 million people. Last year, 2021, we fed even more, 128 million people. And this year, we are gearing to feed 152 million. Now, that's not a good thing. That's not a good sign.
Right. I just want to go over the numbers that you mentioned earlier. 47 million people this year have been pushed into acute hunger, 70% increase we're seeing. Very dire numbers that you've mentioned to us, and clean water and food are essential for survival. Given the shortages of grain and what the climate crisis has resulted in drought that we're seeing happen in different parts of the world, what can we substitute grain with, for example?
It will be difficult to change dietary habits overnight. In fact, it will be easier to stop the conflict in Ukraine than to change dietary habits across the world. We need the crisis to stop. And then then life can go on. We need the crisis to stop. Yes, the crisis is not happening in a vacuum. We had COVID. We had many other conflicts that came in. We are in the realms of 2008 and 2011 food price hikes. But the world was more stable then than it is now. To be honest, we just need this conflict to end, and we need it to end now.
All right, Tomson Phiri, thank you so much for joining us here on TRT World. It was a pleasure speaking to you.